Today on Tamron Hall, reality star Mayci Neeley is pulling back the curtain on the secret lives of Mormon wives. In a daytime exclusive, Mayci is setting the record straight about the headlines surrounding her new memoir, including the tragic death of her ex-boyfriend, the challenges of raising their child without him, and the final text message he sent.
There's so many scenarios, like if I would have done this, or I would have done that, that you think about, but I didn't know he was driving, so I wouldn't have known that he was texting and driving.
And then, he made headlines stepping onto the floor in a bold protest. Olympic gymnast Frederick Richard joins us to talk about the battle to change what men gymnasts wear. Tamron Hall starts now.
Have a seat. I'll tell you. Oh, have a seat. Thank you. I love it. Walking through those doors never gets old. And when I tell you, but it's 7 seasons, we might have had the most awkward hug I've ever had. Come on. I got up. I came in for the hug. You did. I went. But you've gone down in history right now. Today's show is a powerful one. We always talk about the fact that I've been a journalist for 30 plus years of my career. And I've learned over the years that, you can see a big headline, but there's always so much more behind it. And so we call this show Ripped from the Headlines. The headlines tell you what happened, but they don't tell you often how it felt or what it cost that person. And that's what this hour is about, the human side of the stories you think you already know. Our first guest is no stranger to the spotlight. You've seen her, of course, on Hulu's Emmy-nominated The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Big show, huge show. But today, Mayci Neeley isn't just part of the story, she is the story. Her revealing and beautifully written new memoir, it's called Told You So, exposes how her life has been really a series of shocking stories ripped from the headlines, including this heartbreaking headline: former BYU baseball player killed in car accident. At 20, pregnant with her first child, Mayci lost her baby's father, BYU baseball player Eric Mack, in an instant. An unfinished text message, a crash, a loss that changed her life forever. Her book opens up with these words: "The day my boyfriend dies, he texts me to say he's sorry. He loves me. He'll never forgive himself for hurting me while I'm pregnant with his baby." She goes on to say, the text ends on the letter J. It's an unfinished message. In a daytime exclusive conversation, please welcome Mayci Neeley to our show. I gotta tell you, first of all, you're so brave to dig into these deep spaces, right? Because often when you go through something as tragic as the loss of Eric, you compartmentalize. You bury it to keep going.
Yep.
And then you decide, I'm gonna go in that dark space in my brain.
Yep.
And I'm going to unpack it. Why did you need to do it now? Because your child is now 10, right?
Yeah, he just turned 10.
He just turned 10.
Yes. I feel like it was just time for me. I've done a little bit here and there in therapy, but I always knew I wanted to write a book.
Yeah.
Because when I was first pregnant, my dad came to my room and he handed me a diary and he said, whether you're mad, you're sad, you're angry at me, anyone, write it all down. Maybe you can use these words to help someone else one day and write a book. And I was like, kind of a bratty teenager. I was like, whatever. And then after I started writing, I was like, wow, this is really helping me.
Yeah.
And I decided that I did want to write a book. So it's kind of been in the works in my brain for 10 years now. And so now it's finally here.
It is, it's incredible. Interesting because before we talk about that last text message from Eric, when you learned you were pregnant, you write about contemplating what to do. You grew up, of course, Mormon, very conservative background, a very religious background, which you've talked about not only on the show, but in the book. And you discuss in the book how you debated whether or not to put your baby up for adoption, that was a big part of it. So it started out a complicated situation.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think like whenever you have a pregnancy that you're not expecting to have, you need to figure out what your options are and what you want to do. And I think for me at the beginning, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was like, I don't know what would be best for my child. And eventually I just did decide, obviously, to keep, which like was an easy decision eventually, but in the beginning it's scary. You don't know what you're doing. You're so young. It's like, I don't know what my future holds, and I want to make sure my kid has the best life, whether it's with me or two other parents. And I obviously decided to keep him, and it was the best decision I ever made.
In the memoir, for the first time, you are unpacking what happened that day. You and Eric had been together. You'd learned that he had been cheating, as you described. You had like a file of pictures and things that you'd accumulated to confront him.
Yes.
He'd admitted to it, as I understand.
Yeah, he did. It was like a one night thing, drunk one night kind of thing that happened. And
you're both young. People make mistakes.
Yeah,
right?
we were 19. So like when I look back, I'm like, we were kids. You know, it happens. So.
Yeah, you were babies, 19-year-olds, trying to figure it out. He's a baseball player at BYU, and you're both trying to find out who you are in this world. And now you're expecting your first child together. You got the text message. I just read it to the audience. He said, you know, he was apologizing, and then the text ends on the letter J. You'd been corresponding via text?
Yeah, it was basically like I found out what happened. I was saying some pretty harsh words, and then he texted me saying like, I'm so sorry, like trying to apologize, like you deserve so much better than me and all these things. And then I was like, the last message he sent was unfinished, which was very unlike him. Like I feel like if he had a typo, he'd usually fix it. So I was kind of like confused what was going on. And it was because he was texting me while driving, and he crashed while sending the text.
And you didn't know. So you have this text message. You see it ends on the J. You don't know what's going on. You learned about the accident. Someone posted on social media, R.I.P. Eric Mack. And then another person showed a photo of the accident, saying that a semi-truck carrying coal had rolled over on the highway. You write about this, again, as I said, going back in that space, and to learn of such a loss while pregnant on social media. What was that like, reliving it specifically?
Oh, yeah, no, it was hard. I think when I was writing the book, I do talk a little bit about my abusive relationship before I met Eric, and that made me angry to write. I just felt so mad, you know? But when I wrote about Eric, I just felt like just love and just like so much grief. Like you just feel like you're reliving it, because like when I tell the story, I can visualize it. Like I can see those headlines. I can see like his body under this blue tarp surrounded by police cars. Like I can see it in my head when I'm writing it. And that made it very difficult to do. But I was hoping that it would help impact other people who maybe have gone through grief or abuse or different things like that, that this book could help them on their journey, because I did feel very alone going through it.
Yeah, you know, you've touched on it, of course, on the show. There was even one of the episodes where you were at his gravesite. Obviously, with your son Hudson, keeping his father's memory, a father that he never knew, right? His memory alive with him. The accident was in 2015. Yeah. Now, all these years later, have you released what you described in the book as this early guilt that you felt?
Yeah, no, I have. I think I did feel it a lot in the beginning. It's like, well, if I wasn't texting him, this wouldn't have happened. Like, there's so many things that you play in your head to try to make things, you know, stop or disappear. And I think that there's so many scenarios, like if I would have done this, if I would have done that, you know, that you think about, but I didn't know he was driving. So like I wouldn't have known that he was texting and driving. Like I couldn't have
No one could have known.
That.
And that's an individual's, listen, we've all had that moment perhaps where you grab the phone. It's a split second thing. It was an emotional moment for both of you. He's apologizing. You're venting about this. Your kids. No one thinks that a bad moment in time will result in a loss of a lifetime. No one thinks that. We do have an excerpt from the show where you went to the crash site. Let's play that for the audience.
we'll just leave this here then.
Yeah.
I remember getting there for the funeral. And his parents had to hold me on each arm because I was just a wreck.
What do you want Hudson to know about his dad? I'm so sorry, honey.
No, you're good. I'm like that. Watching that is like so hard.
I'm so sorry.
I just wanted to know that like his dad obviously would have like really loved him and cared for him, and he was excited to, you know, be a part of his life. Like he knew about him, he was excited, you know. So I know that he would have absolutely adored him, and Hudson is like so loved by so many people. So like I obviously happy about that, and his grandparents from Eric's side are like in his life. So obviously that makes me really happy because then he gets to still know about his dad, and he gets to have that piece of him, because if you hide that from kids, then they'll never know, and they always look like a piece of them is missing, and he'll always have that piece, you know, even if it's not here.
More with Mayci Neeley after the break. We'll be right back.
Coming up, Mayci finds new love, happiness, and fame. Plus, how she handled the firestorm of controversy created by the Mom Talk swinging scandal.
Somebody broke the rule by going too far.
Yeah,
with
it was
someone.
Taylor.
That was Taylor.
She went too far, like out of
I love
her
how you're like,
marriage.
that was Taylor.
That
Let's
was her,
point it
not
out.
me.